Hey, welcome back to another My Two Good Hands video. We're in the RV. We are working on our solar setup. And in the last video, you saw how we mounted the panel for the switch gear. Now, a lot of people aren't going to use switch gear. They're just going to hook up their rover from Renergy, and they're going to hook their battery to it, program it, and then the last thing they're going to do is hook up the panel. But then when they're on a trip somewhere and they have a problem, they got no way to shut their panel off to work on anything without going on the roof and unplugging it, or going into the Renergy and actually loosening the screws and pulling out the wires while there's voltage charge. So for safety, I added this switch. This switch is not a Renergy product. Okay, there it is. We will put links in the Amazon descriptions below for buying this. Now, when you get it, it's going to come with these in all 4 holes. You can see what we did. We actually put this in there, and if you can see in there, there are 2 holes because I could put both wires through there because it's 10 gauge wire. If it was bigger wire, this did come with, of course, the plugs we took out. It also came with a box full of the fittings and the rubber joints, and the rubber joints have various different bore sizes in them, so you can put different ones in there. You want to remember when you're doing your wires and you take this off, make sure this nut is down your power cable. But the first thing we got to do is mount it, and there's 2 screw holes to mount it. One's a slot, one's a screw hole. So what we're going to do is, when we do it, we set up this drill with a really long bit. I'm going to hold this in place and just come in and tap it and get 2 little marks on our board so that we mark that paint job so we know where we drill our pilot holes, our screws. We get this mounted down, and we'll take out these 3 screws or 4 screws and show you what's under here. Again, it's on and off, all right? And inside is 4 sets of contacts, so you could run 4 things through it. Or you could set it up so that it's in and out on the same side. If you needed to have this here and not have it come out and in on the bottom, you could do that. This is a very flexible item. Love it. So like and subscribe, post notifications on. Use the Amazon links below to shop and help support My Two Good Hands. Let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this towards the top, because remember, we've got our Bluetooth that has to go down below it. So we're going to mount this near the top. I'm going to center it up. The other thing is we want these to have clear access. So we're just going to lay this right up at the top edge here. I'm going to come in with our drill, go to our 2 holes. That's 1. Don't move this while you do this. We made 2 marks. Here you can see the 2 marks. Now, because we used a drill, I believe that's a little too big for our screw. No, it's about the right size. We can go ahead and use this drill, and we're going to put them on a little bit of an angle because you got to go around the box. And come in here and do this one. Hey, it's all the way through. So let's get out a couple screws. Got a couple screws right here. What we're going to do, take the cover of this box off. We're going to leave it off until we get done with the install. I'll just take these screws up. Hear them click, and they're out. Okay. So once you get the screws off, this will come off. We're going to set it over here where we won't step on it. And inside this box, you've got this hookup, and you've got these nuts. So you want to make sure if you take this nut off and you take the rubber piece out to put your wires through, you want to make sure if this is, take this off all the way, that you get it on your wire. So, you know, this needs to be on here because this is our solar panel wire. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut this off. And what we're going to do is we're going to take because we got a lot of cutting to do here. It's going to take it right here and cut this off. So we cut that off. We'll be able to peel this back for a ways. And we don't know where we're going to cut this off, but we'll just peel it back like this for now. And we're going to strip these wires. But before we do that, I'll show you how to get this out. There's a little red piece down in here. There's a red piece. I don't know if you can see that very well. But see the red piece? You pull this out. And I'm having a hard time pulling it. I may have to go get a screwdriver. Okay, so back with the screwdriver. So you can pull this outward. See how that moves? I don't know if you can see that in there very well, but it moves out. And then up that comes. So now I can take this part out. Now I can mount the box. I can pull my wires through, hook everything up, and slide them back. And we're going to do both sets. So we're going to do these other terminals too. So these are going to go through here like this. And then when we tighten this, it'll be... But again, remember, I told you, got to put this on. So the first thing we want to make sure we do is this. Once this is on, we know we're good for putting the wires up. So we're going to strip these and furl them, and we'll do another video on that. But let's talk about this and how this works. So if you look closely inside here, you can see the holes, and you can see there's no place to put the wire. So if I take this and I turn this, the thing should open up to let the wire in. If it doesn't, like you can see, it's not doing it. Push down on the screw, and it'll open up. So we're going to open all of these all the way up. And there you can see how that's not coming down, but watch. When I push down on it, now it's open. So let's get all these open. I don't know if you can see that in there, but that's not going down, but now it is. Oh, we got those open. Open these a little more. So if you wanted to make this go in and out one side, in other words, in, back out, this block here and this block here, you take those out. You can put them both on the top. When you put them both on the top, it makes this the in and out and this the in and out, or vice versa. So you could work out of one side if you had to. So what we're going to do is we're going to come mount this next. And to mount this, got to have this. So we've got to have a screwdriver holder that I thought we had handy here. Well, we have to go find the holder for this now because I don't see it. Oh, here it is, right in front of us. So basically we've got this to hold this. Got a couple of screws. We're going to start the one screw because remember, it's got a slot. So we're going to start that one in the slot here, slot hole. And we're going to run that almost all the way down. I think that's probably about as much as we can go and still get that on. See if that works. Yep, that's good. And then got to get this other one in. The other one's a little harder to get in. That's why we put it this way. Because we pre-drilled the hole, so it works pretty easy. Okay, that's tight. Okay, so now our box is mounted tight. And what we're going to do is we're going to go break and do a video, show you how to furl wires. And once we furl a wire, we'll get these two plugged in and attach them to here. And we'll work on our other wires. So welcome back. Hey, we are still working on our switch gear. and you saw the video how to furl a wire. We'll probably furl one here too, but we need to cut off a piece of our battery length. That's why we bought a battery cable. It was extraordinarily long, so we could actually cut a piece off and use it. Cut a piece off and use it for going from the solar panel over to the controller. We're just going to cut the whole thing here. Boom. That's it. It's cut, and we're good. So now what we're going to do is strip these ends so we can put ferrules on, and that'll be good. You can see they pre-stripped this end, and I think if we pull this one, it'll be pre-stripped also. Looks like it is. Okay, so the little yellow ones do not fit on here like they did on the wires from the roof. They're both 10 gauge, but the 10 gauge, this has a real big insulation on it, and that one doesn't. So we're going to put this ferrule, and just like we showed you in the ferrule video, you want to make sure the ferrule is flush with the end of the wire, and we can see that we're not. So actually what's going to have to happen is these are going to have to be stripped a little bit bigger. So we're going to strip them a little bit longer. Okay. So once you get it stripped out like that, you can ring this. We can put our ferrule on here just like this, all the way up flush with the end of the wire. And then go ahead and clamp this on here. So there you go, and that's furled real nice. We're going to have to strip this one a little bit more and furl it. And then we can wire our box. So again, we're going to put the ferrule on. Make sure all the wires are in there. Put it right up to the end of the wire like this. See where the wire is right at the end here. That's what you want. And we're going to furl this. So now the ferrules are on there. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we'll take this out of our box, the nut. Of course, here you don't have to worry because the other end isn't attached to nothing. We can obviously get this on there. We can also take and push our rubber gizmo out. Push the rubber piece out. Get the wires through the rubber piece. There we go. Now we have to take the wires and stick them through the holes down here. So let's get you moved for that process. All right, so what we have to do is get these into our box. Make sure you've got your nut on there. The nuts are on both of these. Make sure you got the rubber piece that seals it, and tuck these through here like this. And we know that in this case, our orange is our positive and our whites are ground. And we know here the black is the ground and the red is the positive. So we stick them in this way. So now they're in. We left this loose because it's easier to work on this if it's loose. So what we're going to do is put the orange on the top here. And you want to make sure that your ferrule goes in the hole all the way like this. And then you can take your screwdriver and tighten this. Got to make sure that you're in that loop so that when it gets tight, and you can put some torque on there a little bit. We do have a torque wrench set up for finished torque, final torque. And then we'll get that in, and then we're going to go do the next one. And again, you want to make sure if there's a little flat sticking out, that that little flat is turned so that it's not against your, not against the edge there. Okay, so that's in. We can snug that one up. Okay, and you can give these a little tug and you can see that they're in there. Now for here, we got to be sure we're doing this right. We want to make sure we have our wires the right way. In this case, we got them backwards here, so we're going to turn them over so they're closer to where they need to be. We're going to pull our wire out some here, And we're going to take our piece here. Make sure again that you're in here like this. Push it in all the way again. Tighten up the screw. Okay. Same thing with the other one. Pull our ground wire up. And all the way up. Tighten the screw. And you want to make sure that the wires are secure. Now what you can do is start bringing this back like this. And there's some holes here that are pinholes to line this up. And then you take your little screwdriver, pull this back. And that'll clip in like that. Right there, you heard that clip? It's in. So this is now in there. It won't come out. Now at this point, you can push these in and put the nuts on. But what we want to do is check torque. So we have got a torque setup here. Oh, looks like we have to go get an extension. So we're going to have to go get an extension for this. Be right back. Okay. We've got ourselves an extension. So these are supposed to be 10 to 11 inch-pounds. So we set this up, inch-pound wrench. We can take and put our screw in here, hold this, and start tightening this. Seems pretty tight. Hopefully our wrench works okay. I believe I have it set right. Let's double check with a screwdriver and see how tight we think these are. I'm pretty tight. But I think that we're right at the point where the wrench is going to click on us. Oh, yeah. Right there's the wrench clicking. So that's good. Oh, yeah, there we are. Okay. It's very light click because it's so light. So I'm putting my finger down here to know when it clicks. Right there. Okay. And you can hear this one. So we are at torque. And just to double check, we're going to put our screwdriver on here and see if we think it feels tight. Oh yeah, that's tight. Okay, so we got that on. Next thing we got to do is get these little rubber pieces up in here. And then push the, get the nut on here. And we can get a wrench to tighten this. I'm just going to tighten it by hand right now, but helps if you want to tighten them up with a wrench. Again, here, the nut's way down here. Way down here. I'm going to take this and cut this off so that it's not in the way. So we're going to figure that needs a cut about there. That off. So now we can take our wires, pull them up out of the corner here for a minute. Put this on here. That's on there, good. And We got our wires protected and we got them routed through here. So that's nice. This other one's routed. Before you put this cover on, make sure you got orange to red, white to black in this case. Because on the Thor motorhome, we believe the ground is the white because that's what it is for everything we see here. So at this point, we could get our cover. Our cover goes on like this. This will be in the off position, should be. And we'll put our cover on like this. And start our screws. Don't need to over torque these. You'll feel them, they get real solid at the spot. Now we want to turn this, make sure it turns okay. It's on. You can see you can't move that. When it's off, you can move this, and they actually give you a little lock if you want to lock this out. If you're going to go up on your roof and work on it, you might want to hang that block on there so the wife don't come in and turn this on when you're on the roof. So there we're on. Now we're off. And that's how that works. And like I said, I'm going to get a wrench so I can tighten these up. I don't think I brought one in here. But next part we're going to work on is we're going to go work on starting to set up our controller. So hey, thanks for watching My Two Good Hands. We do appreciate all the support. Amazon links below for that box, which came with beautiful instructions on different ways you can wire it and everything. You got in, out, and different ways you can do it. Does come with a safety lock, so you can lock it out. This is going to join our paperwork in our RV manual because it's something on the RV. Eventually, we'll make a nice wiring diagram for this so the next owner of this vehicle can figure out how to work on stuff. But don't forget to like and subscribe, turn your post notifications on. Use the Amazon links to shop. It helps support the channel and the work you see here. So thanks again. We'll catch you in the next video. We're going to go work on mounting our fuse and starting to hook up some of the wires to our controller. See you soon.